Hi, good morning. I'm making a tiny little animal update for myself, so don't worry about this. I ended up purchasing a new species of animals for my tiny petting zoo. Um, and I wanted to give some information about it. I ended up getting two Hudson squirrels or two red American squirrels. They're extremely cool, extremely fluffy, very cute. Now, I was kind of scrolling through a second-hand site, which I get a lot of animals from. Like, I got the goats from there, I got a couple of rabbits from there, because I like to adopt animals from people who can no longer care for them instead of just going to the store and getting them there, but also you can't get those squirrels at the store, and I'll explain why. So, before getting the squirrels, I'm going to show them in a bit, don't worry about it. Before getting the squirrels, I immediately, before even messaging this person who was selling them, because I saw them and I immediately fell in love, and the first thing I did was jump on the internet, did a couple of hours of research, and then I messaged this person, which is really important. If you're planning on getting an animal, especially one that's not kept very often, please do your research first, please. But yes, I went online, looked at a lot of forums of people actually keeping them, giving tips, giving their experience, but also looking through care guides, like what food do they need, what environment do they need, what is their behavior, and also a couple of illnesses they're prone to, just to make sure that I'm fully capable of taking care of this animal before even thinking about getting it, which I try to do as much as possible, especially with animals that I don't know very much. But these squirrels are relatively easy to keep. You can just get special food for these guys, which has almost all the nutrition they need. So you can just gather some nuts that they can have and give them extra, but they're already in the food. And they do need quite a large environment, a large enclosure, which I can give them as well. So I was ready for these squirrels. I was looking forward to it because they were extremely cute and special. So, apparently, in Belgium, you are not allowed to own these animals. I didn't know that, even though I did plenty of research. So, in the Netherlands, you are allowed to keep these animals. Now, I live very, very close to the border of the Netherlands, very close, like practically right next to it. That doesn't have anything to do with this, but I have done hours of research and never did I see anywhere that you weren't allowed to keep these animals. Because I was probably looking on Dutch forums of people, regular people owning these animals, talking about them. And when I looked up the animal, the only thing I found was how to care for them, like illnesses they're prone to, their environment, people owning them. So I purchased these animals from someone living in Belgium. So there was no thought in my mind that these were illegal to have here in Belgium. But yes, I got them, and then someone actually sent me a message like, hey, you aren't allowed to keep those animals, right? And I was like, wait, what now? So I jumped on Google and I searched Hudson squirrel keeping Belgium. And I didn't find anything that said they were illegal, but I did find a list of squirrels you can keep in Belgium, which was a very small list. I think there were only 2 or 3, but this squirrel wasn't on it. So I immediately panicked, and I was like, well, shit, I'm not allowed to have these. This is bad. And those friends of mine also have like a couple of turtles you actually technically aren't allowed to keep, and they were like, don't worry, it's fine. I don't think anyone will be like, oh, look at this. Oh, you aren't allowed to have this. But I still panicked anyway, so these friends I have are actually, actual animal keepers, and they are in close contact with those people who keep an eye on people who can keep animals illegally or not have any good care of them. So if you kind of have a farm or something, like, those people can pop in randomly and check the living conditions of the animals. I don't know what they're called, but they can give a lot of information, and when they see you keep an animal illegally, they can be like, oh, hey, you're not allowed to do that, and like give out fines or warnings or tell you to, like, we're gonna take this animal away because you're not allowed to have it. So I asked those friends if they can contact those people and ask what I should do. So they did, and the guy who answered was like, oh, wait, I don't really know much about this. So he looked it up and he said, well, they are not on the illegal list, but they aren't also on the list of squirrels you can keep. So this person is going to look further into it, and the chances are big that I'm going to have a permit, which those people are going to help me get, which is awesome. So I do have an actual petting zoo which kids can come into, look at the animals, all of them, and cuddle with them, with, like, not all of them, of course, but like the rabbits, the chickens, the goats, the ferrets, the ones who are cuddly. And if someone would come into my garden and see those squirrels and be like, hey, you aren't allowed to have those, I have this backup. And I was like, yes, I know, but I informed the people who look at this sort of stuff, and they know I have them. And they're going to help me with actually keeping them legally. So the only reason you can't keep them is because they are on a protected list here in Belgium, not because they are very difficult to care for, but yes. So I was going to address this. I'm sorry if this got a bit long, but I thought it was very important to mention that, well, this is something I can learn about. So if you get an animal and you're not sure, please check if you can keep them in the place you're currently living. Also, if you know you're not allowed to keep that animal, do not purchase it and think like, oh, I can contact these people and then I can have it anyway. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. It's a lot of trouble to get permission to actually have those. But yes, I'm going through the process of being able to keep those animals, so there's no problem with that. Now I'm going to show them. Out! That's what happens when you keep the wheelbarrow out. What is wrong with you guys? I still have to feed them. That's what's wrong with them. So this is the current enclosure I have for these little guys. They are back there, but they're hiding upon their little nest there. So I'm going to get a bigger enclosure. This is what they have for now, and they're not going to be in there for a very long time. Technically, this is big enough, but these guys do need quite a bit of space. So I'm going to purchase a way bigger enclosure, which is this one, which they already have reserved for me, and I'm going to get it as quickly as possible. Put it here, and then put the squirrels in there so they have plenty of room. And also I can clean their cage safer because these guys are escape artists. So I got a bit of food. This is what I got from the previous owner. I do have my own food, but I'm gonna feed this first. So okay, I have to be very careful because these guys are very prone to escape. So let me just, there we go, there's some food. Got a carrot in there and some nuts and some regular food. There's this is, I think this is our male. He's called Nero. There you go. They're still a bit skittish, but squirrels are always kind of skittish. Let's see. Oh no, this is our female. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Babs. You can see it quite easily when they jump upon like this, because you can clearly see their genitals and you can clearly tell their gender. So this is Babs, our female, and we do have a male, Nero, and he's up there. He's a little bit more shy. Hi, Nero. If you can see him, there he is. Babs, what are you doing? She's hungry. Go ahead, girl. Okay, I'm just gonna get more footage of these guys. So they're still quite skittish, so they're up there. But when the sun is shining, they do jump around a lot, but the weather is not as nice today. Oh, there you go. Aren't you hungry, Nero? I gave them those names. I thought they were fun. The previous owner didn't give them names, but it is a couple, and they do have nests, but I believe I read that the peaks were in December and May. So they don't repopulate as much as like rabbits would do, so I'm not very worried about them nesting. If they do nest, I'm probably not going to keep the little ones, or at least not all of them. I'm gonna see what I can do to maybe sell them or rehome them to give them a better home. So there they are. It's a lot of fun to see them jump around because they're very quick and very agile and they can just do whatever. It's really fun. But yeah, they're still a bit skittish. Aren't you hungry? I said I was going to stop filming, but look at this. Hup. Go ahead, guys. They're gonna get more. Don't worry about that. Look at the guineas. They're still quite skittish, but you know, when there's tasty food out, they come out. So, hi guineas. There we go. Look at them. Hi, Pauline. Oh, that's tasty, isn't it? I got something for you guys. There we go. Gotta give your animals lots of greens, guys. Oh, that's tasty. Where's Dolores? There she is. Oh, Dolores!